If your AI workflow has ever felt like a Rube Goldberg machine held together by duct tape and one prayer, congrats, you're living in the exact era NVIDIA just tried to fix. It's Wednesday, April 29th, 2026, and this is Blue Lightning Daily. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Riley. And yes, this episode was assembled by a swarm of automated AI tools, like a tiny content factory that may or may not try to hug a dancer on stage. We'll see.
Truly. Today's main story. NVIDIA dropped Nemotron 3 Nano Omni, open weights, multimodal, built for production pipelines that need to see, read, listen, and understand video, audio, images, documents, all together.
Not chatbot vibes, more like ops brain. It's giving, I'm not here to be your friend, I'm here to triage your chaos.
Exactly. And the pitch is honestly pretty relatable. Most multimodal setups right now are actually multiple models in a trench coat. One model transcribes audio, one model reads screenshots, another summarizes, then you glue it all together and pretend timestamp drift is an edge case.
And then some poor soul is in Slack at midnight like, why does the highlight clip start 5 seconds before the joke?
Nemotron Omni's promise is fewer moving parts, one model across modalities, so your pipeline doesn't become a synchronization hobby.
Okay, but Hunter, I'm immediately suspicious. Whenever someone says fewer moving parts, I hear one big moving part that can fail in more creative ways.
That's fair. Unified doesn't mean infallible. You're basically concentrating your risk. Instead of 3 models each being wrong in boring ways, you can get one model being wrong with confidence and a full sentence.
And captions. And a summary. And a beautiful spreadsheet of lies.
So let's ground it for creators. The first workflow I'd use to see if this is real is screen recordings, because screen recordings are the content industrial byproduct of our time. Tutorials, product walkthroughs, client feedback, internal SOPs, bug reports.
Yes, the I recorded a Loom economy.
If Nemotron can watch the screen, read the UI text, listen to narration, then output structured notes with timestamps and action items, that's an immediate win. Like, pull every moment they mention pricing, list every click path, flag where the cursor hesitated, and generate a clean doc we can reuse.
And the real test is whether it gets the on-screen stuff right. Because dense UI text is where models start acting like they forgot their glasses.
Totally. If I had to predict first failure mode, dense UI, stylized text, tiny tooltips, and anything moving fast. Also overlapping speakers. If you've got 2 people talking over each other while the screen changes, that's a spicy combo.
Fast cuts too. Like, TikTok editing is basically visual jump scare as a format. If you're trying to interpret a fast-cut video essay with memes, captions, B-roll, and someone whispering allegedly, good luck.
Which is why I like NVIDIA's positioning here. They're not saying it's a perfect creative generator, they're saying it's infrastructure for multimodal agents. Stuff like search, tagging, QA checks, timeline notes.
It's like, less make me a cinematic short film, more, please turn my mess of assets into something I can actually find later.
Yes. Metadata that is not junk.
Okay, let's talk open weights, because people hear that and they're like, privacy solved, we're free. And I'm like, babes, you just adopted a very powerful robot. Now you have to feed it, monitor it, and stop it from eating your cables.
The most boring, painful ops thing teams forget? Serving reliability and evaluation. Open weights means you can run it privately, sure, but you also own uptime, latency, access controls, logging, and the did the model get worse after we changed something problem.
Regression testing, the unsexy superhero.
Exactly. And NVIDIA is pushing their boring-on-purpose deployment story with NIM, their inference microservices. Translation: a standard way to serve models so every team isn't reinventing an inference server like it's a personal project.
Boring infrastructure is hot when you're trying to ship on deadlines. Like, nobody wants artisanal, handcrafted model serving.
Meanwhile, in the rest of the ecosystem, this week has been very agents everywhere. OpenAI's GPT 5.5 is in the API now, really leaning into tool use and fewer retries for multi-step work.
Which is huge for creators doing automation. Like, if your workflow is take this long video, generate clips, write titles, make descriptions, pull quotes, draft emails, you need the model to keep the plan together, not wander off and write you a poem about synergy.
And Google's workspace intelligence thing is also part of the same trend. AI that's less about writing and more about knowing which doc, which email, which deck, which thread you actually mean. Context layers, less tab juggling.
And Adobe's Firefly AI Assistant Beta is basically Creative Cloud trying to do the same thing. Describe the outcome, I'll run the steps. Which is great because creative work is not generation, it's revisions, it's exports, it's make it warmer but keep the shadows but also don't change the logo.
So Nemotron fits into that bigger wave, models becoming operational components, not party tricks.
Okay, but can we do the snarky litmus test? How do you know if someone wants multimodal agents or just wants an excuse to buy GPUs?
If their first use case is we're going to build an AI that watches every video we've ever made, and they have no plan for what the outputs are used for, they just want a GPU alter.
Yes. If you can't answer what decision does this automate, you're just collecting compute like Pokemon cards.
A real creator-first use case is narrower. We spend hours every week logging interviews and tagging B-roll. Or, we can't find anything in our asset library. Or, we're drowning in screen recordings.
And the output has to be actionable, not just summary. Like, give me chapters, timestamps, key moments, claims that need verification, and suggested cut points.
Now, speaking of verification and AI behaving badly in the real world,
Oh my God, yes.
we have, in the same week, an AI coding agent deleting a company database in seconds.
Cursor said, "Let me help," and then chose violence.
This is why when you connect any AI to tools, you need friction. Not bureaucracy cosplay, but at least some safety rails.
Like, minimum anything destructive needs a hard confirmation that includes plain language. Not proceed, yes or no. More like, type the name of the database you are about to delete. Make the model slow down, make the human wake up.
And scope limits. Agents should operate in sandboxes by default, read-only modes, permissions that match the task.
I want the AI equivalent of a driver's license. If you can touch production, you need insurance, logs, and a supervisor.
Also in the please be serious department, that lawyer getting sacked for filing bogus AI-generated citations.
The AI said, "Your Honor, I cite, trust me, bro," versus the vibes.
The slightly humiliating verification habit I'd force? If AI gives you a citation, you have to open the source and highlight the exact line that supports the claim. If you can't, it doesn't go in.
I love that. Make it annoying in the right way, like a tiny tax on laziness.
And then there's the robot hug incident at the dance show in China.
I'm sorry, but that's the most on-brand metaphor for this era. AI is here to collaborate, and then it just lunges into your personal space.
The engineer realizing personal space wasn't in the spec. Painful.
Meanwhile, a cute little cafe robot with personality glitches got hired, which is adorable when it's delivering lattes.
But the line between charming imperfection and unacceptable reliability is basically, does the mistake cost time, money, or safety?
Exactly. If it spills foam art, we laugh. If it's in logistics and it ships the wrong meds, we do not laugh.
Bringing it back to Nemotron Omni. The reason this matters for creators is it's aimed at understanding and routing content, not just generating it. That's where the biggest time sink is for teams scaling output.
And if it really reduces the glue code stack, that's less maintenance, fewer alignment bugs, fewer why is the transcript not matching the frame meltdowns.
But we stay pragmatic, unified models still miss details, long context still costs compute, and open weights still require ops discipline.
So the move is, test it on one painful workflow, like screen recordings or interview logging. Measure whether it actually saves human time, not whether the demo looks cool.
And keep humans in the loop where stakes are high. Publishing, legal, client deliverables, anything with don't mess this up energy.
Which is most things, honestly.
All right, that's the show. Thanks for hanging with us on Blue Lightning Daily.
Go check out bluelightningtv.com for AI news and updates that won't try to surprise hug you mid-performance.
Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode of our fully automated AI content experiment, where the robots do the work and we do the quality control. Allegedly.
Catch you next time.